Happy April of 2023 to my ballistic blood brothers and sisters in arms. Today I've got a video that I think you might find interesting. It's something that, for a change, there's not just loads of information about this all over the internet. This is a submachine gun that was invented just prior to World War II, actually during World War II, but prior to Japan's entrance in World War II, and it was in Australia. As you can imagine, what you know of Australian history, there isn't a big long history of heritage and tradition of firearms ownership quite in the same way we have here in the United States. So you might not find it odd that there were only a few machine guns in Australia at that time. So they had to utilize what they had available to make something in order to aid Britain when it looked like they might need help from Germany's actions during World War II. Shortly thereafter, Japan entered, which actually posed a threat in the eyes of Australia, and immediately they wanted to ramp that project up. What they ended up with initially was the Austen. We all know of the British Sten submachine gun. This is the Austen, A-U-S-T-E-N, simply stands for the Australian Sten, and they manufactured what they thought would be an improved version. History may or may not agree, but you and I are going to get a chance to look and voice our own opinions today. The gun that we're focusing on today is the Austen Mark I. And you'll notice right away it has a lot of similarities to the Sten. It also has a lot of similarities to the German MP40. Almost to the point where the Austen looks like a love child between the two of them. Let's take a peek at the differences with each of those. Where the Austen and the Sten are immediately related, at least recognizably, is in the barrel system. It has the same threaded barrel system with a small slotted for cooling handguard, almost to the point where they can be interchangeable. These are very, very, very similar. The stock attachment points are very similar, and of course the tubular receiver design is very similar, though they're not interchangeable. The mag well and the trigger group are also the same as with the Sten gun, to the point where the trigger parts are the same and the magazines are interchangeable. Now, where they went in the direction of the MP40 will noticeably be the grips. And they even added a front pistol grip to the Austen. So it looks like two of the MP40's rear pistol grips stacked one in front of another. So you have a front and a rear grip. Also with the stock, although the mechanism itself functions a little bit different, the aesthetics and the way that it works is very, very, very similar to the MP40. One thing that it has in difference with the MP40 is that at the back of the stock, you can unscrew the end caps. Under one end cap, you will find a screwdriver. Under the other end cap, you will find a cleaning rod. So in designing something to be similar to the Sten, which was known for being very effective and very inexpensive, they actually created something a little bit more challenging, timely, and expensive to manufacture. But personally, I think what they ended up with was a pretty cool design. They also emulated the recoil spring mechanism of the MP40 into the Austen, where the Sten gun is just an exposed coil spring that is open to debris and it's easy to get fetched up on things inside of the action. The telescoping three-piece system from the MP40 is all enclosed and is a lot nicer and cleaner. Having spent significant time on both systems, I like the MP40 style, the three-piece collapsing telescopic return spring mechanism, a lot better than the Stens. It's just a lot smoother and cleaner. Unfortunately, it's a lot more expensive to manufacture. Now, lore hasn't been very good on the Austen. The Mark I was never regarded as a very strong submachine gun, and it wasn't in service very long. They did come out with a Mark II, And where they made around 20,000 of the Mark 1s, they only made around 200 of the Mark 2s. So those are very, very rare. You'll most often find those in a museum when you see one at all. The direction that they wanted to move in was towards a third design, not related to the Austen at all, called the Owen, the O-W-E-N. And you can see some similarities. They stuck with that same tubular receiver style, but beyond that, really not a whole lot in common with either of these. And that didn't stay in service very long either. So I know some of you have been pretty kind to me lately. When I do get a chance to do a video, when my health is good enough, you tend to listen to me babble an awful lot. But I'm starting to come back to the point enough now where some of you are not quite as gentle on me, and I'm starting to hear it again. Hey, shut up and shoot. Well, I hear you. Let's take a look at the MP40, let's take a peek at the Sten, and let's take a peek at the Austen during some live fire. So how cool is that? Another really interesting World War II era submachine gun. Actually, 3 of them, if you count all of the ones in the video, but I really wanted the focus to be on this Austen since I don't see those very often. The reason I have access to this one is because it is in-house at Pool and Auctions for their May 2023 premiere event. And so I wanted to make sure that we took some photos, shot some video, and looked at it together while we had that opportunity. So I hope you like this video, this introduction to the Austen and a comparison of 2 other firearms that really inspired it. If you did, please click like, share us with your friends in your vast social media universe, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and don't forget to take a peek at our merch over on the Bunker branding page. We have some really cool pieces. Our Back in Black AR-15 line is probably the most popular. I really like it myself, and I know several of you do too. Anyway, stay tuned because we've got some other interesting things coming up in the very near future. And until next time, have fun and be safe.